I see something. I see something straight ahead.
Shot up into the sky.
You have
disappeared. I got footage of it, yeah.
Alien!
Whoa!
That's an alien!
Oh, I heard that!
All right, fam, I am here in Key West, Florida. I am here with a good buddy of mine. His name is David. And David, if you didn't know, he's the one that wrote a lot of stuff on Robert the Doll. He is a paranormal expert. He does a lot of the paranormal tours at the East Martello Museum. If you go and visit Robert the Doll, make sure he's there, or my friend Dan over there. He's kind of hiding. These guys know everything about Robert the Doll. But anyways, tonight we are not discussing Robert the Doll. We are discussing UFOs. We're discussing aliens, and we happen to be in a hot spot for alien UFO activity. We're gonna go and talk to David a little bit. He's gonna fill us in on some of the history here, and not only that, I'm going to show you some real life footage, and we may even see a UFO live here.
We went on a UFO watch, and they said, guarantee you'll see UFOs. And we went out to the middle of nowhere, and this lady brought out these scopes, and you see the stars like never before. I mean, you can see stuff that you cannot see with the naked eye.
Yeah, it's breathtaking.
We saw 6 UFOs, and I said, oh my God, I got to get one of these. I'm going to start a tour in Key West. And then they were $5,000.
So, you didn't know it was 5,000?
You know, so it's been a little bit of time. I mean, it's been 7 or 8 years, and I just got one, and it's insane.
It doesn't look like it's $5,000.
No,
but it definitely is.
When you look through it, you'll absolutely understand why.
Right.
I can't wait. Hey, so I'm gonna get a first-hand look here. I'm hoping not to be clumsy, because Omar can be a little clumsy sometimes. But I'm gonna put a kung fu grip on it. So, all right, how do we use this thing?
So you look through this side. The one thing, you try not to look at any light through the lens.
Okay, because it's real bright.
Yeah, if you look directly at light, it can mess up all the inner workings of it. So don't let it see any bright light. You want to put it out towards the stars, and it's going to illuminate them like crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, you just hold it up right at your eye, look through, and then you'll get a pretty good view.
All right, let's give it a whirl. All right, here we go. Oh my God.
What?
Oh, this is cool.
What do you see, bro?
I mean, it's just really bright.
You can see stars that you would not see otherwise. And the great thing is when you look at certain areas, you'll see things moving. And we know how airplanes move. We know how satellites move. And then we see these other things, and the way they move or the way they behave, it's not like anything that we know.
This would be epic to use somewhere just really dark.
I mean, this is pretty dark.
I mean, it is. For being Key West, you can sure see a lot. Definitely more stars than where I live. Yeah. Wow, like that star is so bright right there. I wonder what star that is.
That might be a planet.
That's Jupiter up there.
Oh, that's Jupiter?
Yeah, that's Jupiter.
I'm looking at a freaking planet right now. That's freaking awesome.
We saw the International Space Station come over earlier. And we can look up with the star apps. It'll tell you what the different ones are you're looking at. So you can see right there. And the place where we see a lot of the UFOs, they come out of the water and they go up towards Orion, right towards Orion's belt. So that's the area that we're going to keep an eye on tonight. So anything coming out of the water anywhere over here, anything moving in that area, heading up in that direction.
There's just so many stars.
Now, you seen a UFO come out this water.
When I decided to start the UFO Star Watch,
Right.
I'd only told a couple of people. I told Dan, I told Matt, who we work with out of the fort, at the haunted fort,
Right.
and I told my parents. And then it was a few weeks after that, I got a call from Popeye's Chicken. And you know, it was on the ghost phone. I pick it up, and it was a guy who told me, he said, there's an underwater base that you're gonna research. He said that there were aliens, that there was the military, and he said I was good at connecting dots, and he asked me to take notes.
So you think the military knows everything that's going on?
I think the military knows
They
everything.
have like a contract.
If you look at the history of the military in the Florida Keys, if you look at all the military installations now, I mean, look over there. I'll give you this night. I'll give you this night vision. That's one of our naval bases.
That's a naval base over there?
Oh yeah. I mean, the towers and the technology watching us right now, I would not be the least bit surprised to think that they're listening to us. Over there we have Boca Chica, which is operated by the Navy. Incredible naval presence. And one of the things this guy told me, he told me a lot of stuff, and I deal with some cuckoos, and I thought, I wasn't making judgment, but I did not think a lot of it was legitimate.
Right.
And then he told me, he said, go out on New Year's Eve and look over the ocean and we'll prove it to you.
No way.
And
So-
what happened on New Year's?
Yes. That
So
thing
n-
in Miami.
Yes,
So-
Bayside Marketplace.
New Year's Eve, I'm up at the fort getting ready to put out the Robert the Doll experience. And I had watched on the internet, how do you communicate with aliens? You know, I'm learning all this stuff.
Right.
And there's the CE5 protocol, Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind protocol. And so I kind of try that. I'm out in the Citadel, I'm looking up at the sky, and, you know, I'm closing my eyes and I'm visualizing, you know, being up there with aliens. I'm trying to show them where I am. I'm kind of doing the Om and anything I could, because they say being peaceful and sending out love. So I'm trying it. And I waited like 10 minutes and nothing happened. So it's time for the tour. I go outside and the fort's right on the ocean. Nobody's there yet. I go over, I'm standing on the seawall, and I look over, and this thing shoots up out of the water. It was like a glimmering light, and then it danced around for about 2 minutes. And it moved in ways, I mean, it wasn't a plane, wasn't a drone, any type of drone I'm aware of. I mean, the way it was moving. And then some people came up to check in. It shot up into the sky
You
and
have footage of this,
disappeared.
don't you?
I got footage of it, yeah. So I start filming after it shot out of the water. Okay, you can see it right there.
Holy crap, bro.
Right? Isn't that
You
cool?
could see so far.
Yeah, there's so much depth
So much
in
depth and
between each
detail.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, see, if I was looking at that
Wow.
without hearing your story, I would think it was probably an airplane, but it is dancing around like light-wise.
The way it starts dancing around,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
so then it goes off
and
to
then
the
it
side.
disappeared.
It disappears off to the side, comes back into view.
Oh, no, that's not an airplane. Definitely not. Bro, look how it's moving.
And this is all right over the water.
Look at that. Bro, airplanes don't move like that.
No, they don't.
No,
And the way it was glimmering, and normally with an airplane you'll get the blinking light, but it'll be a steady flashing light. A lot of them coming into Key West, we'll
oh my
see the
God,
green
bro, look how that's
flashing.
moving around. This is excellent footage. David, you took this footage?
Yeah, and the guy told me that I'd see something. So after this, I've started digging in, and the stuff that he told me to connect the dots on, I'm still researching it, but I'm finding weird stuff.
Now,
I mean, I'm finding weird stuff.
up in Spring Hill, where I live,
That's awesome.
where we live, I actually got a buddy who's kind of a nut.
Watch when it shoots up.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
going to shoot up. Watch this, bro.
Here,
See,
watch right at the end. So
Here, don't shine your light, though.
Yeah, let's go.
and it was silent. It wasn't making any noise. The only noise that was going by was some cars
That was
on the highway.
in
Now
the
watch.
location we're in
Here
right
it goes.
now?
Here it goes. Whoa!
Whoa! What the
Took off.
fuck? Dude, that was so cool!
It
Yeah.
just took off.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is like the best. That's the best UFO footage I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Hey, so I got a buddy over by where we live,
Uh-huh.
and he's always talking about seeing those things.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I can't see them with my naked eye, but after seeing that footage, that's what he explains.
Yeah.
My buddy Jordan, you met Jordan.
Yeah. That's
always be
incredible.
seeing those
And you know what?
things,
You can't argue and say that's a satellite or something weird like that, too.
And then I post it, and there's I post it on Facebook, and
What are people saying?
well, the different people say different things. Some people are like, oh, you were drinking, you did
No.
enough drugs in Key West.
Well, they probably only saw the beginning of it.
Well, the way people are with UFOs, I mean, it's still a little bit taboo to talk about it. People will think you're a nut, but I talked to a haunted doll, so you know it's.
Hey, that haunted doll is real,
Hey.
though.
This is some video. When I posted the video, there was a girl that said, "I saw a UFO on New Year's Eve too."
So somebody else, and this is her video.
This is her video.
Oh, wow.
And she's in Key West, too?
Yep, over at Perry Court.
Whoa.
It's like orange.
It is orange. It's moving in a weird pattern.
Did that shoot up also?
Look where it moved back and forth for a second.
So it's more stationary when they're seeing it, but a lot of people talk about those orange lights, the mysterious orange lights. And you see how it's going in the little bursts? You
Yeah.
go back, you
don't
go
think
back
that's
through
one of those
time.
lanterns? Like those
I don't-
lanterns that people shoot off?
I
Like
don't- Could be.
Yeah.
It's pretty high up, though.
I mean, there's-
I don't know, it looked pretty big. from
Yeah, they don't
the
go that
distance.
high, though.
Here's the interesting things. So this is old Key West articles. Sonar contact near here. Many sailors spot mysterious objects in the skies on Saturday flights. So this talks about flying saucers in Key West. More flying saucers. They said they had no knowledge of any abnormal happenings in the skies around Key West. They said that they were at a loss to explain the strange happenings. Then those were seen in Tampa too. Warning given on objects in the water.
We're from Tampa.
Objects in the water. So you've got all these reports. Look, at this one, Key West citizen, more flying saucers spotted. So you go back through history, there's this long chain of events of flying saucers. Warning given relative to unusual objects that may be seen floating at sea.
Wow.
So this hasn't really been a secret. And there, look at this, okay.
Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle.
No, that's not the
What's
Bermuda
that?
Triangle. I call this the alien triangle because with the points that the guy gave me, you got Key West right here, huge military presence, right?
Right.
The Navy has a huge presence here. Over here, Guantanamo Bay,
Oh,
huge Navy presence.
Yeah.
And then right up there, that's Alltech in the Bahamas.
oh wow! Look how it makes a perfect triangle
Another
like that, bro.
another naval base
all
where
connected.
they do all of these places specialize in underwater warfare.
Submarine and all that. Yeah.
And the thing is that the underwater base, it might be connected to others, I don't really know, but it's supposed to be in that area right in there. And here's the really wild thing. There's two areas that are interesting. Well, you've heard about the Bimini Road. You know, the Bermuda Triangle is kind of an extension. Like
Right.
there's the main alien triangle, then there's a tertiary triangle that includes a lot of the Bermuda Triangle, or a secondary triangle, and a tertiary one that includes everything going from New Orleans over to the Straits of Gibraltar. But there's a place near Guanajuato off the coast of Cuba where with sonar they've detected what looks like an underwater city.
No
They say
way.
that there's man-made structures that look like pyramids and look like Great Walls. It's
Wait,
too,
like
too deep
Atlantis?
to explore. Possibly.
Oh.
Possibly. But then the thing that really interests me, the guy told me to look up NR1. NR1. And I start looking it up. NR1 is a sinkhole located 40 miles southwest of Key West. It's at a depth of about 2,000 feet. I don't think they know how deep it goes.
Yeah, that's
It's
deep.
about 1.5 miles wide
In the ocean?
in the ocean. And they discovered it in 1994, if I recall correctly. And they were kind of blown away.
I didn't know that this sinkholes could. I mean, I guess it makes sense because aquifers are all over.
They had never found a sinkhole to form underwater. They usually require air
Yeah.
to form.
Yeah.
And that's why scientists were really blown away by it. And they said, we want to research this more. Because they've never found sinkholes that form at that
Underwater.
depth. And that depth was never exposed to land.
No. Not
So-
2,000 feet.
So the theory is, and again, I don't know what to make of it, but the theory is that that's one of the places that's an entrance and an exit to this underwater base. And that's why the triangulation around it, they're protecting all of these areas. And there might
With
be,
the military presence.
yeah, and there might be multiple bases. You go back, you have Thomas Edison who comes down here in I think 1916 or 1918. He patented 42 inventions for underwater warfare for the United States government.
How long did he live here in Key West?
He was only here 6 months.
Really?
And look, this is a list of the things that he created, 1917 and 1918. So we've got like preserving submarine guns, systems for protecting the coast from some of the ship's telephones, searchlights, search for convoys, extinguishing fires on vessels, devices for observing splashes, underwater searchlight. There's all of this underwater stuff. Every single invention would tie into something that they're working for
I
against.
think the government hired Thomas Jefferson to create these things?
Edison.
Edison, I'm sorry. Thomas
I
Edison.
think Thomas Edison had a connection.
Jefferson was the president.
I don't think it's a coincidence that all of this technology starts coming out. Look at how many things he invented. I mean, he didn't invent a light bulb, but he perfected it.
He perfected
Maybe
it.
he was getting alien technology. And look, existing theories that are out there, which I don't know what to make of, they say that Truman made a deal with the aliens where things would be peaceful, they'd provide us technology in exchange for us doing certain things. Truman spent 175 days of his presidency down here. He built a White House down here.
Where?
Right over in Truman Annex. And
I didn't know that.
And this is where it gets crazy. I'll show you a couple of things. One thing, one thing I want to tell you is something that Edison sent to his contact with the military. It was somebody Daniels. So he says, "Friend Daniels, personal and private. From the various correspondence and actions of your department heads, I am certain you are being systematically deceived as to their actions, capacity, and efficiency, and I hope that you will get suspicious." Thomas A. Edison. And then he says, "Everything is not by any means what you think it is." And then he continues, says, "A year after the war, Edison told Daniels, when you are no longer secretary and have returned to business, I want to tell you a lot of things about the Navy that you are unaware of."
When was that written?
That was written in, let me see, I'll have to look up the date for you, but that was shortly after his time here, so like 1916, 1918.
Wait, this is before like aircrafts.
Yeah.
Because that was what, 19...
No, 1800.
A lot of sightings happened. So he was here, ties in with World War I stuff.
Okay, so yeah, there was planes and aircrafts.
Was there?
And then here's what gets interesting. Truman spends all the time down here. People are seeing the UFOs everywhere. Look at this headline of the Key West Citizen. Truman knows nothing about flying saucers.
Wait.
Wow. That's actually incredible.
But
I like how you said wow right now.
if you look around at the different documents out there, there is this document signed by Truman. It says top secret, eyes only. Now, the interesting thing is they do not have this document in the Truman Library.
Where'd you find this?
It's online. Other people did this research, and who were researching Truman's connections to the UFOs, and they said this is a document that Truman wrote, looking to silence the word about UFOs, something about UFOs. So Truman's down here, UFOs are down here, technology going out. We start getting all this military. One of the things Truman did is he held a meeting with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, so the people in charge of every division of the military, and they came up with the Key West Agreement. And if you look up the Key West Agreement, what you'll find is that it gave the Navy a lot of power. It gave the Navy the right to operate their own Air Force without the Air Force being able to say anything about it.
Right.
It gave them duties that the Coast Guard would have. It pretty much gave the Navy autonomy to do whatever they want. And why would the Navy need to not just worry about water, but worry about air?
Right.
Well, one reason could be that there's a massive military alien base 40 miles off the coast of Key West. You know, the guy told me connect the dots.
Right.
And I find this stuff and I think, wow.
Where do you think this guy, you think maybe he was intelligence or former intelligence?
I think he knew something.
Yeah.
He had a conch accent. It was funny because I pictured him looking like Dean Haglund, who was one of the lone gunmen on the X-Files. And I'm friends with Dean. I do a show with him.
No way.
And so I pictured the guy looking like that, but probably because of the alien connection.
Right.
But he had a distinct conch accent. And that's what we call natives here in Key West.
Right.
And the conchs have a very distinctive accent. So he knew something about what was going on.
And it happened. He said that something would happen.
Yeah.
And something happened.
Yeah. And how do they do that? That has me really weirded out.
Amazing.
But there's all these reports, and then you have Eisenhower, and if you look around, they'll say Eisenhower continued what Truman started with the agreements with the aliens. And then you have John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy came down here too. Eisenhower spent time here, Kennedy spent time here.
He had a bunker in West Palm Beach for the Cold War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And during the Cuban Missile Crisis, which is another interesting thing because Castro saw UFOs when he was taking over Cuba. There's reports that he went to Russia and saw alien craft and saw aliens. And so were we really fighting over Cuba? Or were we fighting over everything that was in between?
Good point.
And so Kennedy, it gets very weird. and this is not my theory, they say that Kennedy started poking the CIA and saying, you need to release the information on UFOs because I don't want the Russians thinking that it's us and starting a world war. 2 weeks after he sent that memo, he was assassinated. His brother, Robert Kennedy,
He was assassinated.
he was poking the bear too. I found something saying they were both members of the, I think, amalgamated UFO. Let's see here. Okay, in the early 1960s, one of my space contacts, Renton from the Alpha Centauri, let's see, gave me reports of contact with JFK in the Oval Office. Both President Kennedy and his brother, Attorney General Robert Kennedy, were card-carrying members of the Amalgamated Flying Saucer Clubs of America and were very interested in the UFO subject. Some sources say that both JFK and RFK were killed because of their plans to tell people the truth about the reality of space people and their offers to help the world.
David, I'm not going to have the government show up at my house.
Hey, I would not be surprised. Nothing would surprise me. And you want to hear something even weirder?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that there were multiple gunmen when JFK was assassinated.
Right.
The number one candidate after Oswald is a guy named Gilberto Lopez. Now, they say he was born in Havana. If you look at this, his mother, she was born in Key West, Florida. Police informed the Monterey base that one of his contacts reported in late February that Gilberto Lopez, U.S. citizen, was involved in Kennedy assassination. According to this contact, Lopez entered Mexico on foot from Laredo, Texas, about 1,200 hours November 13th, carrying a U.S. passport. He was flown in a plane to Cuba. He was the only passenger in the plane. He did not have to go through any type of customs or immigration. He was taken out.
Dude, that's sketchy.
Now, even the Inquirer got in on it. You can see proof JFK was killed by this spy, Gilberto.
Oh, wow,
Lopez.
look at that.
You can connect the dots, but there's just so many connections. And to think, if Kennedy really was killed because he was going to expose the UFO bases that are underwater just off the coast here, and then somebody from Key West kills him?
Dude, wait a minute. Possibly, whatever you saw in the sky that one night, what if it came from underwater and it was, like, planned?
I think it came from underwater.
And that's why that intelligence called you and told you about it. Like,
I don't know how they could predict and know what time I'd be out there. How
Yeah,
would they
that
know?
is very
How would they know what
strange.
time I was going to be out there looking?
Got
That
a
is
call
weird.
from Popeyes talking about UFOs.
I mean, maybe it was the
And timing.
CE5 that I was doing. The CE5 protocol, they say it's like close encounter of the fifth kind, which is where the humans make connection with them, where you communicate.
Yeah.
So maybe I did that, and maybe that's a delay where it takes like 20 minutes after.
Right.
Maybe it had nothing to do with the call.
did
I
he
don't-
tell you to actually come here in this location?
No, he said look over the ocean.
Look over the ocean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's only just a couple places to look over.
I mean, he said Atlantic Bays,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's out
this.
here. You either got the Gulf or the Atlantic.
Oh my
But-
God.
But
So cool.
Dan and I, when we were waiting for you guys, Dan and I saw a few crazy things.
We saw 3 or 4 fast-moving, high-altitude. I have no idea what they were. They were flying. Since we've been telling the story here, I've been looking around for anything. I haven't spotted anything recently, but they were. I mean, how high do you think they were? Like way above a commercial airline, going way faster than a normal plane would. We saw 3 of them.
You
in the
have some
ISS
footage
before.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recorded from the fort. Yeah, it's a couple years old.
Right.
I have the video here.
I actually have the video, but I want to see
Oh,
it on.
God.
Yeah, you can show it to me.
You have to send me a
Yeah, I will for sure. Got a
So
club
there was
here in
a-
the background. They jamming
video. We're
out.
having a good old time. Look at the flames. in that
There's a
thing.
couple people out there doing their own ghost hunt out in the courtyard of the fort, and I bumped into them. And I thought that they were looking at this tower here in the courtyard of the fort. It's called the Citadel. It's a cool building. So I started to talk to them about it.
Looking through the
They're like,
smoke.
no, we're not looking at that. It's up there. We keep seeing it go by. And I looked up and I saw it. And I got like a 5-second video of it. And here it is here.
Oh wow, look at that.
And it's hard to tell in the video, but this was really high in the sky. It's hard to get a gauge of how.
It's in a
how high
triangular
up it was.
shape like that. It looks like there's other stuff following it too, and that's definitely not
Yeah, it's like
Starlink.
the form of
Let me
it.
see that real quick.
Here, check it out.
There's a mass
So that's-
around it. You kind of get
Whoa,
an
look
idea
at
of
that.
like the scale, like the shape of
Oh
it,
my god.
sort of in the back of it. And then the next couple of days, there are all these Facebook posts, people living along the Keys saying, like, did anybody see that last night? This triangle form of light, like, fly over super high up in the sky. Never seen anything like that before. But yeah, but this was a couple years ago now.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's a really good catch.
Very good catch.
Man.
Man. I would
Seeing
love to see
anything?
something.
No, but you got to look through this again. So I just changed some of the settings on it.
Okay. It's
Take-
even brighter now?
Take a look through that now.
Oh, wow, it's even brighter.
What are you seeing up there, Omar?
Oh, this is cool. It's like infrared in the sky. Oh, dude, this is a game changer. Oh, wait, I see something.
What do you got?
I see something straight ahead. No,
What is it?
look,
We're
Dude.
not going to be able to see it with our eyes. Tell us what you're seeing.
I mean, it might be an airplane. It could be an airplane.
Blinking lights?
No, it is blinking lights.
It could be an airplane.
Maybe it's an airplane. I'll try. You could. This is something to definitely catch UFOs with. And that's Jupiter.
Yeah, it's Jupiter up there.
I mean, you can see
Jupiter right
stars
there,
that the
right
naked eye can't see.
That's Jupiter.
Here, can you kill your light for a second?
Yep.
All right, thanks. I was gonna look over here. Wow, this is amazing. All right, David, you got me convinced. I'm gonna probably get one of these now. I got a lot of stars on my farm.
You do. Bro, you be seeing crazy things on your farm.
Yeah, I'll be in my pool like late at night, and just because you can just see the open sky. I got no trees.
Yeah, you can come out. I've been out 5 times.
Uh huh.
We've seen UFOs 3 times.
Wow.
3 times we've seen like stuff we can't explain. So you guys want to see a little secret?
Yeah.
Come over here. This is something that nobody knows about. People walk by it hundreds of times a day. Dog park right near it. Can you see it yet? This whole area is pretty cool. You see it?
Radio tower?
It's a non-directional beacon. It's called, I think this one's called the fish hook.
Wow.
And a non-directional beacon will let craft know exactly where they are in the universe.
Wow.
See, I would have walked by that and thought it was a radio tower.
Yeah.
Or a cell phone tower.
Or yeah, maybe that too.
You can ask 1,000 people in Key West what it is. 1,000 people in Key West won't be able to tell you.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Yeah.
But
I've never taken notice of this
yeah,
before.
nobody notices it's here. It's kind of like hidden in plain sight. But so any type of craft could use that. I think it's interesting, the location of it. I mean, they use these other places. They use them for aviation, but it's something that alien craft could use if they wanted to find out.
You think that's why a lot of sightings are spotted here?
I don't know.
Yes, because
I don't
the
know.
communication and the signal, yeah.
I'm digging up so much information, and I don't know what to think about all of it. But the more and more that I find, I keep finding these things where I'm like, all right. And I started off thinking, no way. I mean, maybe a military base, but not aliens. And now I'm pretty convinced, yeah, there's a base out there that's both aliens and military. How much these other things tie in, I don't know. I could be getting too into it and being like, you know, connecting everything. But every day I'm uncovering something weird like this. And Key West is a strange, strange place.
It very is.
So I don't
It
put
is a
anything
strange
past it. And I bet you this. I bet when we get out to the White Street Pier, I bet you guys see a UFO tonight. I bet you see
hope
something
so.
you can't identify. This is the African Refugee Cemetery. There were 3 ships that were carrying people to be sold into slavery, and they were captured, and they brought the refugees to Key West, and a lot of them died on the crossing. They buried them in this area, and we never knew exactly where. When they went to build this fort they dug them up and moved them somewhere else. And there's these reports where they talk about the stench from all the bodies, but they never knew exactly where. And then several years ago, they did some of the ground imaging, and you can see each of these circles is where they found a skeleton. So several of the bodies are here. There's several more across the way.
And some on the other side of the wall.
And some on the other side of the wall. This whole stretch of the island, this whole south shore, used to be burial grounds. You know, they used to bury people in the sand dunes. Sometimes they'll still find old graves that get uncovered with the storms. Right. And then we had a hurricane that lifted all the caskets out of the ground and washed them across the island. That's when they moved the cemetery to the center of the island.
Mosaics on these tiles are.
You know what's crazy?
Keep your eye out. I can't tell if that's something or not. There's a light over there that looks a little bit weird.
You want to check on that, Dan?
I can't tell if that's just a. I can't see what it is.
Sitting still, it's stationary. It's a blinking how a star does, like in the atmosphere. That's anything that's circular. I could look it up on the sky view.
And if you look here, that'll tell you the story.
Okay, so we are at another hotspot where some UFO sightings have taken place. Where we were, it was amazing, but it was kind of loud. Sorry about the music that was in the background. Actually, probably my mic never even picked that up. Maybe your camera picked it up more than mine. Yeah. But yeah, this pier is a little bit longer, goes over the ocean a little bit more. We're gonna try to see if we can catch some more. If you like a video like this and maybe you want me to get kind of like one of those telescopes, I'm gonna try to find a telescope, night vision telescope, where it actually records video, or maybe there's an attachment, because I really wanted to share what I could see with that telescope, but it's really hard to. I mean, I don't know if you can stick your camera. Have you tried putting your camera through that?
Yeah, it doesn't really do it justice. Tried it a couple of times. We got some pretty good shots.
Yeah.
I've read on forums where people do connect it.
Okay.
You might just be getting a certain connection so that you can do it.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do some research on what I can get to do something like that. And if you want to see some videos like that, maybe I can go to some places where you can see the stars really good. I mean, like, this is pretty great for being Key West. So, and plus there's been some sightings here. So that's one of the things you have to keep in mind. So we're gonna go to the end of the pier and see if we could catch anything else. See anything cool?
There's just so many stars that is like really mind-blowing. Not seeing anything move right now.
When we get over to the wall
Yeah,
here,
we'll get past these lights.
we'll look towards the water, see if we can't spot anything coming up. And then we'll also look up towards Orion, which is where we've seen most of them.
Okay.
I think the two that we saw right before you arrived, we were following one. It was heading over to our left. And then another one appeared going in the opposite direction. And then as it got towards the other one, the one stopped until the other one passed it. And then it continued moving.
Wow. You know what we got to do, possibly, on a nice non-cloudy night? Go by the marketplace. Miami. I mean, I don't know. It might be too bright over there because of the city, but that'd be a great place to bring that telescope.
Yeah, with that scope, I think you'd be able to see. You can see things pretty much anywhere. An EMF meter.
Oh, is that what's making that noise?
No, that's my shoulder strap.
Oh.
I think. But this will make a noise. It'll let out an alert. And they say that when there's a UFO around, that it messes with the magnetic fields.
Oh, okay.
Same thing that ghosts do. That's why I had this before. We use it for ghosts. But if this does go off, maybe something. I've got it set so it shouldn't go off to just anything. What will impress me, though, is if we're seeing something up there and this starts going off at the same time.
That would be cool.
Now, the other thing that I have, we get these spirit boxes custom built over in England. And the first spirit boxes, they were called Frank's box.
Huh, I didn't know that.
They were actually created to communicate with aliens.
Whoa.
And then they started communicating with spirits, and they said, okay, so that's what it does. I'm testing out theories as to whether we can communicate with them. I don't know what to think.
I think you can. I mean, I don't know.
The big thing with any spirit box, you know, every noise that comes out of it isn't a ghost or an alien. You get that radio interference because it's sweeping the stations.
Are we about to communicate with aliens?
What I look for, I always look for the same voice over multiple channels.
Is that the Frank's box? Is that the name of it?
No. This is just, you know, it's a regular spirit. Well, it's not a regular spirit box. It's custom made, so it detunes a lot of the static, and has different sweep rates. What I like getting through this, same voice. The one that I communicated with, there's this lady who has an otherworldly voice, and she's coming through and she talks in complete sentences. Dan, you heard her once, right? And I've heard her once. Besides that, I haven't heard her since.
You should tell her to come to Earth and come talk to us.
So, the way we do it, just kind of send out the energy that we're here with good intentions, that we're here with love, that we're here in peace, and then we visualize ourselves being up in the stars, and then we look down and we say, here's where we are. We're standing on the end of the Ed Knight White Street Pier in Key West, Florida. Come down here to see us. Send us any messages. So right now I'm not getting anything that really stands out to me.
Actually, I think I just saw a shooting star.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I saw it without out of my left eye without the scope, but it was going from here to the right.
Right.
You know, I thought I seen one earlier myself.
That's got to be cool to see on there, though. What if shooting stars aren't really what we think they are? And they're like maybe an alien ship going into hyper
A
mode.
crashing saucer.
What does that say?
Now, if we get...
Oh, it said it again.
Same voice.
Yeah.
Same voice. Can you tell us, are you from the stars?
No.
What does that say?
It said no, bro.
Can you tell us, are you from the ocean?
That said your name. That said David. Did you get that?
We're trying to see if there's an underwater base out here. Can you tell me yes or no?
USA or something, bro. There's more coming in.
Atlantic?
Atlantic.
That's what I
Okay.
heard.
Now, I didn't get that yet. Same voice.
It is
Yeah.
the same voice over and over.
And so that's not radio coming through. When you get three voices before it's
That's
done
not radio.
on a partial sweep.
Who are you?
So I want you to send us your message. I'm not going to ask you any questions for a minute. You just say things that are going to help me understand what I need to know.
Extraterrestrial, bro.
David? That said David. It knows you, man.
Hi. It's
I want to hear that voice again, that man.
Is the man that we talked to still here? Can you come back and tell us if you're around or who you are? Let's stop for a minute. Let's refocus. Here, let me show you this. What's the oldest thing that you've ever touched?
Oldest thing?
Oldest thing you've ever touched.
Damn, Damn, that's a really good question. I don't know. I can't answer that. I guess I'm about to touch something really old.
You're about to touch the oldest thing you've ever touched.
Am I?
See that?
What is that?
It's from space.
That's from space?
Wow.
Is that a space rock?
Put it in your hand, feel the energy. Guess how old it is?
Wow, I don't know.
4.5 billion years old.
Billion?
4.5 billion years old.
It feels like metal.
You know what? Okay, now I can answer that question. Actually, right after touching that, the oldest thing that I ever touched was petrified wood. Yeah,
Which was probably millions of years
and
old.
it was in Nevada.
It's just it's like silver.
It's made up of different metals. This was formed at the same time as the Earth was being formed.
Wow.
And this is from a site in Argentina. It's called La Campo de Cielos, like the camp of the heavens.
That's so cool.
But
how much do you think something like that's worth?
so there's a lot of them because this was a huge meteor that came down. And I forget how long ago it came down, but the pieces of it are 4.5 billion years old. I think this was it was under $100.
Okay.
So
I have a question.
and they have different quality and they have different sizes that you can get.
I got a really funky question for you. Make a wish, throw it in the ocean.
No.
I'm kidding.
It's my good luck.
Toss it back up.
I was thinking about it. Like, what would happen if I just...
One of the things that I'm experimenting with is, can we use this? And a lot of people use different gemstones for different things.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we can't use this to enhance communication with any aliens that might be out there.
Maybe put it on top of the box.
Maybe. Let's try it.
You know, I will say that did have a load of energy when I had it
Let's
in my
try.
hand.
I think that's a great idea.
Crystals over spirit boxes and stuff.
Right.
You know?
I think that's a fantastic idea. What did we see on January 1st or even, I don't know, December 31st? Alien!
Whoa!
That said alien!
Oh, I heard that, bro.
That said freaking alien!
It did. Oh my god.
Same voice.
Whoa!
Holy
I
moly.
think that's the same voice from before.
And it was. You're right. You're absolutely right. Voice!
Voice?
Yes, it repeatedly. What I just said.
You want to ask anything, David?
Is the government listening to us right now?
Think so?
How many of our names do you know?
Just one?
Did you get that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's me. Ow.
I don't know if it's darker over here, but I can see like 10 times more stars than we could from the last.
Really,
year.
from over there?
Yeah, it's way clearer to give it a look.
Here, yeah, I want to give it a shot. Hey, do you
can
mind
hold
holding
those.
this?
Yes, yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
bro. Oh yeah, this is way better. Oh, I saw a shooting star.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Literally right when I put this on, I saw a shooting star. It went that way.
Man.
Dude, you know what? I bet you there's a lot more shooting stars that happen that people can't really see. Okay, here we go. This is what we see right here. Okay. All right, just to give you an idea of what we're kind of seeing. Oh, this is pretty cool, David. Station. So just to give you an idea how bright what we're seeing is, I mean, looks way better on the eye, but. So I zoomed this a little bit on the iPhone, which kind of helps. You see what we're seeing, David?
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
It's still not quite like we're getting, but it's good.
No. All right, that was super interesting. If you guys want to get a first-hand tour just like I got get some information that probably I didn't even get. David is your man, Dan is your man. They are going to be starting these tours probably right now when I'm dropping this video. Their links are down below in the description. Check out my boy. He got some footage too that maybe wasn't here in this video and another video. His link will be down below. If you're enjoying these videos, you want me to do more of them, let me know here in the comments. Smash that like button. Gotta go for now before we leave. Keep it keys.